So John Hendrick here, and we are going to start this new year, 2022, with videos. I'm going to try to post every 2 weeks. Hopefully, that's my idea, that's my plan, and I hope it works. And I'm about to make a purchase to include, to add to grow my Leica family and lineup. But before I did that, because I was thinking about it when I'm going to make this purchase, that it's probably going to be a video of its own. So before we did that, let's set down the groundwork. Let's talk about what I currently have, why I chose what I have, and why I think it works for me. So hopefully you'll sit back, watch, and find some of this stuff intriguing. And then the best part is, as we move forward and I purchase the next piece of item and stuff, you kind of will follow along and be there with me, and we can kind of figure out together if some of these new purchases are going to be worth it. Should I have them? Do I need them? I don't know. With Leica, it seems to be more of like wants over needs. But there we go. Let's get started. Okay, so let's just start right here and work our way out. So this is the Leica M3. It's my film camera. It's one of the first, the most iconic Leica analog out there. Fully manual. It doesn't even have a light meter. So if you want a light meter, it's probably not the one to get. The M6 tends to be like the most popular. M7 is also great. But this is the M3, so OG, right? Also OG because it doesn't have the frame selector. So basically a frame selector is when you look through, if you have a 35, you could set it and you can see the little frame lines for 35, 50, and what have you. But I think original 50 mil was ideally the frame lines for the M3. So I use my 50 Summicron, and this is one of the coolest things about the whole Leica ecosystem, is that this lens was purchased 2017, 18, something like that, and the camera's from the 50s, so boom, works out perfectly. I won't talk too much about this because there really isn't much to talk about. I'll just hit some high points. Fastest speed on this is 1,000. It does have bulb, but that's as fast as it goes. Double stroke. So these first ones, I'll just shoot a shot. Why not? Even though I'm probably gonna blow this out, but okay. I say that. Well, I have film in it, so double stroke. So it takes 1, 2 strokes to advance the film. Unique for it. You can get a single stroke. Double stroke is kind of cool. It's a cool feeling. At first, you're kind of like, you throw it once, you throw it twice. You can. Well, what happened to me at the beginning was the second throw, I wouldn't throw it far enough, so you could throw it and not click it, and then go shoot and then realize you haven't done that little bit. So, but once you get it down and you play with it enough, that double stroke action is pretty cool. It seems pretty cool. It feels pretty cool. So that is it. The Leica M3, love it. It's my workhorse. It's usually what I shoot film on, right? Jump over here. I did a video on this. This is like a QP. I will just, if you haven't watched the other video, I will say that this is or was purchased because I'm kind of going backwards, but when I purchased the M240, that being as manual as it is, my daughter's a swimmer and I would go to these swim events, and I was finding myself like really having a hard time. I just purchased it. My learning curve had to move very quickly, and it was just, it was almost becoming not fun to take it for like those events. And if I'll link the podcast below, but if you've heard a podcast, if you ever heard me speak, I really got into photography when I found out I was having my daughter and I wanted to take all her pictures. So that was taken away from this, or that the 240 was taken away from that. And another tidbit about me is I am a creature of habits, super loyal to brands. And I was like, man, I need a point and shoot to not miss out on parties, parks, zoos, swim, stuff like that. All those fast acting moments. And I was brand new to Leica world, and I realized it had this, which is kind of, I don't want to, I'll just say it's kind of like a point and shoot, right? So you can go full auto on this bad boy. And I think I covered all this on my Leica Q video. I'll link that in the bottom. But long story short, the ability to have autofocus and do that stuff was really why I purchased it. At the time, the Q2 was out, but I kind of like this whole matte black finish. It comes with some other things of why the QP was cool. It came with this leather strap, 2 batteries. So it just seemed like the better of the two. So I got this. So the QP. QP is amazing. It's my go-to for everything. So if I am just walking to the mailbox, if I am right now I took my dog to get groomed, I took it with me. Anything, any like errands, and I always have a camera, this is what I'll take with me. Just because if I have my hands full, I could, like I said, cheat, put it on. You know, I still pick my aperture, I still can do ISO and film speed and everything, but the autofocus, if I have a bag or something in my hand, it allows me to just, you know, pull it up, set it, you know, point away, and then take my shot. So that's it. So that thing goes everywhere with me. I'm surprised it's not more dinged up than it is. The lens hood is a little scratched up, but other than that, there it is, the QP. That's the reason I have it, that's how I carry it. This is the M240, I also did a video on it. The M240 is, when I bought it, once again, same time as the 50 mil, so 2017, 2018, something like that. The M10 had just came out, so it was like, you know, right now we have the M11, so the M10P and M10R are kind of like, okay, like you could save a little bit of money, same rationale. I went in there, I didn't know anything about Leica. I kind of talk about this in that video, but long story short, chrome was cool, it was affordable, I bought it used, and I've had it ever since. So this, I have the 90 mil on there right now, but let's just show you my one camera, one lens for a long time was this. M240 and the 50 Summicron, that was it. That's all I carried, that's all I had. I didn't have anything else. It's what I know how to shoot, it's what I'm really good at. However, we'll talk about this. This is the 90 Summicron. When I saw this at a store, alright, just to give you an idea, I saw this at a store. This is the 50, look at it, that's not even that much of a difference, right? I saw it on the shelf, I was like, oh my god, what's that? I was like, let me see that. So the guy pulled it off, gave it to me, I looked at it. Honestly, it took me like 5 minutes to figure out I was gonna buy it. It was less than $1,000. I love this retractable hood. Love the size, and I was like, I'm getting it. So I got it, and that's become my new addition. So the 90 Summicron. This is like, just because I noticed it, I'm gonna talk about it, but it doesn't have 6-bit coding. So if you come over here and you look, that's the 6-bit coding. See those little dots right there? That and this sensor, I'm hoping all this is coming out. When you put it on, it matches up, lets the camera know what lens you're using. That was my initial thought, and I was just like, well, I bought it without realizing it didn't have 6-bit coding. And then when I realized it didn't have 6-bit coding, I was just like, wow, that kind of sucks. But I was just like, well, you know what, I don't care. I don't care if the camera, because in the camera you could set on the functions, you could tell the camera what lens you have on there. So I was like, oh, it still will know I have a 90, you know, so it sets the right frame lines and stuff. So I was like, I don't care. And then that's when I realized, well, 6-bit coding, right? So the aperture value on these Leica lenses is on the lens. right? It's not in the camera. So without the 6-bit coding, the camera, the files and stuff doesn't know what aperture you have it on. It'll do a guesstimate, I believe, on some files. I've seen numbers on there, but I don't think I don't think it's accurate. So if you're submitting photos to things and you need that kind of metadata, that's just something to keep in mind of. You can send these in and have the 6-bit code upgraded. I don't know how much that costs. I'm not gonna do it. I don't shoot this enough. Between the 50 and the 90, of course, is a brand new purchase, probably like 3 or 4 months. Probably shoot it like 10, maybe 15% of the time. I always just shoot to 50. So back to this. This is the M240. It either has the 90 or the 50 on there. This is my more of my project camera, right? So this is my everything camera, right? Because this is just film. This is the everyday carry. This is the one that, like, if I'm gonna go out and shoot, that's what I'm taking. Mainly because I don't have another one. So, but that's it. So here we go. Let's put them all down. Let's round this out. Okay, so we got my film camera is M3. My chores, run around, just taking camera with me, errands, the QP, oh, and all my daughter's stuff. Always take the QP. My serious work, I guess, for lack of better words, the M240. This is it. Oh, what I will say, because I've looked at lenses and I'm like always want to get a new lens, and that's kind of funny because that's kind of how this Leica world works. Even though you're talking about the best of the best, my humble opinion, the best of the best cameras, the best of the best lenses, there's the better of the best that's always out there, and you kind of always want to be like, ooh, I want that, you know. Leica is definitely more about wants than needs, I think. But some professionals, I mean, I shouldn't say some professionals. Professionals do, I mean, that's their cameras, right? They need it. For me, and I think for the average consumer, it's more of wants. But this is what I was going to say. So this setup works out for me because I got a 28 mil, I got a 50, and I have a 90. So I kind of cover all the spectrums. What I'm missing is the 35 and the 75, but I'm not a 35 shooter. I'm a 50 shooter. I've always have been. When you're talking about 75 to 90, yeah, it's a big jump. But I was thinking more, I got the 90 more for the portrait side of the world. And, you know, it's a bad stigma, but the stigma is the 85 is kind of the focal length for portraits. I figured 90 was closer to 85 than 75. I just went with 90. I don't know. Also heard that the usual pair up is 50 to 90 as opposed to, and then the other one is 35, 75. That's kind of how I've seen it done. And that's kind of what I went with. Summicron is more than enough for me. Of course, you would always want the Similux to, you know, the 1.4. Those are always cool, but I'm not a low light shooter. I don't really shoot stuff at night. If you haven't noticed on my Instagram, I don't have a lot of that stuff. It's just not what I do. I tend to go out during the day. I like the hustle and bustle of you know, the day, right? Being a New Yorker, I think that's just innate and then part of me. So there it is. 28, 50, 90, QP, what did I say? Errands, film, the workhorse. There's gonna be an addition. I can't wait to show you guys and do a video on that. But before, like I said, before we move into all of that, I wanted to set the groundwork. So this is what I got. This is what I do. This is my Leica family. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, if you have them and you love them, if you have the QP and you love it, or you have the Q2 and you want to tell me how much better it is and how I should get it, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Let me know. If you got the M6 and telling me that, like, man, you're missing out with the light meter, so be it. Throw that down there too. If you have questions about the M3 because you found one that's reasonably priced, I've seen a couple recently, go ahead and let me know what do I feel about it, what I think. Maybe I'll do a video on this, but We'll see. And you have the M10. You had the 240, and now you have an M10, and you're just like, dude, you need to step it up. Let me know. Let me know. Put that down there. Other than that, thanks for listening. Thanks for tagging along. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you're part of the Leica community. Also, shameless plug at the bottom here at the tail end of this episode. I'm going to put a link for the Leica Street Photography Collective. A good friend of mine is doing these podcasts. He's interviewed, or we don't want to say interviewed. He's had very good conversations with some amazing Leica photographers, excluding myself. I mean, I'm in there, but these guys are like top. These guys are heavy hitters. I'll put it on the bottom. Make sure you jump on there, listen to one, scroll through the 20 or 30 episodes he has in there. Find someone you like, because I guarantee if you're a Leica shooter and you're following people, there's someone on that list that you like. Look through it, jump on there, listen to it, and you'll probably find yourself going down the rabbit hole listening to all of them, much like myself. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you guys hopefully in 2 weeks. Fingers crossed everything goes well. Peace out. Thanks.